talked about that 5-year window with any new technology that comes into the world to have a significant impact with it. You've got to get in early. With AI, do you think that 5-year window ran out? Now, I think the clock started 6 months ago, and what you saw was okay. Well, people can go and they can chat on GPT, but what you haven't seen is people unleashing an artificial intelligence agent, right? You see, the news this week was Carol AI, some Instagram or some Snapchat, and Snapchat personality created an AI girlfriend version of herself that she's actually selling online to thousands of men. So, she created an AI girlfriend with a combination of things. Now, she's the first woman to launch an AI girlfriend. She won't be the last, right? She charges by the minute. It might be that the business model is AI girlfriend, $10 a month, not $10 a minute, but we'll see. Michael Saylor's exponential technology, when he sees it, once upon a time before Bitcoin, Saylor made a huge amount of money from investing in a different type of exponential technology during the dot-com era and the dawn of the internet. Michael Saylor recognized just how big opportunity mobile phones and the internet were going to be, and that's made early investments into Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Google. Then, in 2020, when it was clear that Bitcoin was the hardest money on earth and was a solution to the debasement of currency problem and inflation, Michael Saylor was able to increase the enterprise value of his company, MicroStrategy, by a multiple of 10 just by converting all their cash on their balance sheet into Bitcoin. But now there's a new exponential technology that has come about and is on the tip of everyone's tongue: artificial intelligence. Before ChatGPT came along, cryptocurrency was the fastest adopted technology the world has ever seen. Then AI came along and smashed it, with ChatGPT going from 0 to 100 million users in just 2 months. In his latest interview with Peter McKinnon on What Bitcoin Did, Michael Saylor breaks his silence on AI and speaks on what is the biggest opportunity he has seen that is bigger than Bitcoin. Saylor believes that if you are an entrepreneur or a builder, you have a window of 60 months to get in early on the ground floor of AI to build exponential wealth and ideas. Now, don't get it twisted. Saylor still has 100% conviction in Bitcoin as an investment vehicle and safe haven asset. However, for those builders and entrepreneurs out there, Saylor believes AI is the biggest opportunity you're going to get. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video, where Saylor breaks down why he believes AI could either be the greatest revolution of all time or end humanity as we know it, and why it's only strengthened his resolve and conviction in Bitcoin. Also, only a small percentage of my viewers are actually subscribed. If you enjoy finance content, consider subscribing or liking the video. It's free, and you can always change your mind. I think creating a fully autonomous AI that does things right. Can you create a bot that will drive your car? Can you create a bot that'll do your accounting? Can you create a bot that will be your lawyer? I talk to people in the Saylor Academy. We have courses, we upload them. They're free. I said, it seems to me like now you can create a digital professor that's got 100 faculties that will interactively tutor anybody for free that knows everything. So, once upon a time, the most powerful man in the world was Philip, king of Macedon. The most promising heir in the world was Alexander, his son, soon to be Alexander the Great. And Alexander's tutor was Aristotle, the most learned polymath in the world at the time. It's not often that you get the smartest person in the world to be your personal tutor, but now everybody can have the smartest person in the world. Maybe it's coming, so with regard to AI, I think you've got 60 months, and in those 60 months, people are going to chip away at that. Sometimes it might be you've got 10 years on certain things, but this is the decade where people are going to create extraordinary things. I'm sure there'll be a goal, look at the Kardashians. Could you imagine the Kardashians being billionaires 40 years ago? In an era of People magazine, it was the magazine, and it was Entertainment Tonight that monetized your celebrity, and they kept all the money. And the Kardashians were possible because social media platforms allow them to own their own brand and monetize their own celebrity. But imagine what happens if you can convert yourself and you can do something for me. Well, maybe you can create an AI that can do that thing for 1 million people at the same time. Okay, so what will it be? I don't know, but I think you should pay attention and think real hard. And generally, what happens is, again, you notice how octogenarians don't really embrace new ideas as enthusiastically as 20-somethings and teenagers. It's just human nature. At some point, you don't have the need. They're comfortable, right? They just want to be left alone. And then, they They don't have the kind of neuroplasticity. You know, when you're between 0 and 10, you want to learn Chinese or Spanish or Russian. Yeah, it's 100% likely you'll master it fluently. And then every decade that goes on, right, you just get less flexible, and you get less economically flexible, less culturally flexible, and less technically flexible. You know, and so right now, I think it'll be someone who will just look, and they'll create some outrageously compelling thing that no one could ever do before, that no one ever thought to do. And it'll probably be it'll almost certainly be one of these new platforms, because you get to the point where humans just have this way, within 10 years, of using a new technique every which way they possibly can. And it's what they call the S-curve. You can't do anything for 1,000 years, and then you hit the curve of commercialization, and now you can do stuff. And we go from Wright Brothers to the moon in 66 years, and then you hit a wall, and like all the modern airplanes designed in the 70s and the 60s, they kind of got stuck because fuel and engine technology just didn't advance. And we're waiting for this fundamental engine that allows you to do something, you know, catalytic and transformational. And yeah, you know, you can, you know, when you see it, like when you see an AI bot that's read everything the human race has ever written and can spit it back to you in a split second. It's like, okay, interesting, you know, you just got to internalize that there's a few other things, right? Like, you know, there are certain types of chips that are interesting. The Unreal Engine, when I look at that, I think someone can create a world that's getting close to the real world. Yeah, right. It's unbelievable, pretty transformational. I would call it digital intelligence. For the first time, we're just on the cusp of real digital intelligence, and it's more than just a tool, because digital intelligence means like once the computer is able to do it, it does it 1,000,000 times better, 1,000,000 times faster, 1,000,000 times cheaper, right? And it's a singularity type moment. And then the generally technology is an acid, and at some point, it just dematerializes and eats away the thing that you use. For example, this destroyed the 8-track tape, the record. It destroyed CDs. It destroyed DVDs. It destroyed cameras. It destroyed scanners. So many things that used to be physical things in the world, you know, voice recorders, they'd all just kind of dematerialized into the phone. With AI, I think it's dematerializing things and services and products and ideas in a disturbing fashion. We could talk, it's a totally different subject, but I think it's a more powerful technology than certain other technologies people get excited about. And if they figure out how to make the car drive it, right, then you is talking about increasing the capital intensity by a factor of 10 of all the vehicles in the world. But you may be profoundly, you know, how many tens of millions of jobs just get eviscerated? Is that a concern, or do you think we will just figure out? No, I think we should be concerned. You do. I think it's one of humanity's great opportunities and one of humanity's great threats. I rather think they might run the world better than we do. We'll see, you know, approaching the singularity where things can veer in so many different directions. You know, I joked to someone, I feel like I know how the world will end, and it's, the other day I woke up and I looked on my iPhone and it said, you know, there's a security update, you know, and you read the description. It says certain bug fixes and security improvements, and you either install or you don't. But if you don't, every day it asks you to install. So you're going to install it, and I feel like if there ever really was an artificial intelligence and they infiltrated the center of Apple or the center of Google, they would just insert a Trojan horse piece of code into that security update, push it out to 5 billion or 6 billion smartphones, just sit there with a back door for who knows how long, then one day just wake up, and your phone either just goes blank. Yeah, maybe if it's colorful if you want. Some melodramatic meltdown, everybody's phone just turns off, but more likely you would just see the 100,000 most powerful people in the world. They would just start to send messages to each other, moving money around or launching initiatives or starting wars, or whatever they're going to do. And the human race will just get taken along for the ride. And that, I think, you know, that has made, if there's any result, it's made me much more passionately committed to Bitcoin. Because I actually think if Bitcoin, what's the problem with every system in a world of AI? The problem with it, with every system, is what you just said, which is the AIs are better than the humans. The humans aren't necessary anymore. So to the extent that there are humans in the loop, whether they're soldiers or pilots, or whether or not they're programmers, if the AI gets smarter than us and starts to learn 1,000,000 times faster than us, then every single system with a human in the loop is a weak link. And the struggle we have all the time is how do we take the humans out of the loop? And Bitcoin is the greatest example of a system constructed so that no humans are in charge. There's no humans to corrupt it, right? You're not trusting Apple, you're not trusting a set of developers. And I think that once if AI is capable of interfering and the concerns of mankind, then every system that has a human in control of it, right, or has an attack surface via code update, right, is going to be attacked. So what do you want? You want analog devices that can't be updated. So for example, the swimming pool in your backyard, isn't going to get a code update from Tesla. So when the AI takes over, there will still be water in the swimming pool, and there may still be, potatoes growing. Your horse may still be a horse, and a car with an internal combustion engine, without software downloaded from the central system, will probably still keep working. Your gun will keep working too. So physical things in the Bitcoin network will keep working. The things that are going to fail the fastest, the most fragile, are these systems get continually updated, and it's a reason why I think the concept of ossification is more important than ever. It's the things that work well in the universe. If we think about the world, it's like the speed of sound and the speed of light are constant, right? The laws of thermodynamics, the laws of gravitational attraction, they're constant. No one fixes them or improves them every month. There are no security updates to the universe. That's why the universe works. No one has changed the rate at which the sun, converts mass into energy. And so natural law is constant and stable, and the result is that things that are based on it aren't natural and healthy by our standards. And now when you look at man-made things, right, there are certain things that are stable that will probably continue to work even, after the AIs melt everything. And they're kind of off the grid, and the stuff that's on the grid, you just can't rely on any of it. And you can't rely on any human being to make the decision. So oftentimes, like with regard to Bitcoin, you ask me what I want, like I don't change it. Okay, hey, I don't want to, don't change it, right? Just leave it alone. Like math, the protocol. There's a certain set of numbers. There's a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, or 5, a 6, 7, 8, and 9. Leave it, right? Yeah, you can come up with other things you could do. But so there's Michael Saylor with his opinion and outlook on artificial intelligence. Saylor has always been at the forefront of innovation and technology, so his words carry more weight than most when it comes to AI. On top of that, his company, MicroStrategy, is a business intelligence software company, so they would 100% be implementing and exploring use cases of artificial intelligence internally. Saylor is telling entrepreneurs and builders in the space that you have 60 months to get in early on the ground floor of AI. This should light a fire under you if you consider yourself one of those people, although it doesn't shake his steadfast conviction that Bitcoin is the #1 investment vehicle and the hardest money to exist, and that will never change. Anyway, hey guys, hope you all enjoyed today's video and that it provided you some value. I'll see you all in the next one, and as always, all the best.